What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy, Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness using mindset, encouragement, accountability, and nutrition to help you be the best you. What's going on, Stoutsiders? Do me a favor. If you're watching the show right now, go ahead and give me a like. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. Go ahead and share this video with everybody you know, so that way the algorithm gets this information, so that way I can continue to give you this information that is in this dome of mine. Okay. Today is June 11th, 2025. After this broadcast, I am going to go get my ass whooped. If you have been following me faithfully through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and things like that, you will know that I have recently taken up boxing, combat sports altogether again, but I'm taking up boxing for several reasons. Number one, just need that slap awake sometimes, you know what I mean? Just something to slap you awake and make you realize that you're not where you think you are, right? And because, number one, boxing is a very explosive cardiovascular based sport. My cardio is absolutely not where I would want it to be, even though I do not personally run anymore. I haven't ran legitimately in over a decade, over 2 decades almost. I played basketball when I didn't injure my hip. But as far as like legit cardio, like going for half-hour runs and things like that, I stopped doing that years ago. However, that's because of physique purposes, not because of, like I couldn't perform or whatever. It was more along the lines of I was trying to achieve a specific type of physique, and me doing long distance running was not going to work for me. But that is not the case here. Guys, for those of y'all who know, what fitness means to me is something that most people out here in the world don't necessarily look at it as. Some people look at it as a chore. Some people look at it as the most torturous event possible. Other people look at it as a means to an end to be able to exist on this planet longer. Other people enjoy the struggle, and then there's other people who live nothing but for the intensity and the challenge that comes with physical fitness. Now, me, I lie in between lanes 2 and 3. I see it as a means to an end, and I like to challenge myself to see just how far I can go when it comes to certain things, right? I'm not somebody that will per se look at things and just run from it. I'm not somebody that shies away from conflict. I'm not somebody that shies away from adversity. I'm not somebody that shies away from issues that may arise. The difference is that there's a difference between adversity that is natural an adversity that is manufactured. I don't want to deal with manufactured adversity. I don't want people causing me problems. Whatever problems comes up within a particular venue, that is how I live my life. I enjoy embracing those conflicts, those issues, those problems, those adversities that will get you to the next level, that will make you become a master, as opposed to just somebody that is plodding through and suffering. But needless to say, there are others that see fitness as a particular struggle that they do not wish to that can, they look at it as all a struggle, as opposed to it's a challenge to overcome. You understand? So, needless to say, where do you guys fit into that? Let's start with that. Where do you, as a person who is viewing my channel right now, where do you lie in all of this? Are you a number one, which is you see it all as hell on earth? Two, you look at it as a challenge, or a means to an end to get to where it is that you want to do, to do the things that you want to do. Three, somebody that embraces challenges. Or four, somebody that finds the struggle of fitness to be orgasmic, so to speak, right? Like I said, I fall between the lanes of 2 and 3 personally, right? On top of that, because I have a affinity for helping other people, this is why I chose this lane. I always want to see people achieve something greater than they thought that they could achieve. And this particular topic is on Ryan Davis becoming emotional over his fitness journey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. So trying to find the play button here.
It's the first time I ran in probably over a decade. I've moved faster than I walked before, but that was the first time I was running, and I knew I was running. And it's so funny because the reason I wanted to quit was not because it was hard. It's because I was like overcome with emotion. I haven't been able to run. I haven't been able to run in a long time, y'all. Change your life, man. It's so worth it.
And really, the emotional moment, it was more of a happy emotional moment, because then at that very moment, he realized physically he has accomplished everything pretty much he wanted to accomplish, and he was an absolute complete person.
So I'm going to scroll it up a little bit so you can see where he once was. All right. So the picture on the left on your screen, the picture on your left is Ryan Davis about 2-3 years ago. The picture on your right is Ryan Davis now. Clearly, Ryan Davis is a larger dude, but like I've always said in my fitness videos, there's a difference between large and obese. He's still a larger dude, but in the picture on the left, he's obese. You understand? And he knew he was, and for a multitude of reasons, he went on this fitness journey. I don't know him personally, but what I will say is that he is fully aware that Hollywood has a certain need of a look for you. If you are to become not necessarily a leading man, but even if you are wanting to become a leading man, you cannot lead in a show based on certain things. Like, for instance, what's her name from God, I can't remember her name right now. But she's an actress. She was in like Pitch Perfect and all of those stuff. She's an Australian actress. She was larger. And all of a sudden her role started to melt because she was not as big anymore. As a matter of fact, she's in fantastic shape now. Guys, help me out with that one because I don't remember her name off rip. So if you're in the chat, do me a favor and give me that young lady's name. Well, she's not young. She's a little bit younger than I am, but she's Australian. She's an actress. She recently lost this weight during the pandemic. As a matter of fact, she decided to go on this health journey during the pandemic. And since she has lost all of that weight, the roles that she was accustomed to getting are no longer there. So as opposed to being pigeonholed to certain roles because he's going to be that quote-unquote fat friend in all these shows, he wants to put himself in a position where he can show his personality. He can be funny, the funny that he knows he is, and he can actually display that on a multitude of levels as opposed to simply fitting a typecast for him being the fat sarcastic friend or something. And he's emotional because of the journey of knowing that you once had capability. So imagine as a young child, maybe I would even go as far as in memory as, let's say, like 10 years old. You could run, you could jump, you could skip. You might not have been the same size as everybody else, but you were physically capable of running, jumping, skipping, and playing. And then all of a sudden life, no matter what the issue is, decides to take hold of you because you have a goal to be a well-renowned comedian, because you have a goal to produce your own comedy special, because you had the goal of making appearances all over social media, because you had a goal of achieving extreme heights in entertainment, you neglected yourself in the process, right? I've seen Ryan Davis on camera at least for, I want to say for 10 years now, minimum. And I've always found him funny. I always joke around with my family members because he reminds me of one of my cousins. He has the same sense of humor. He has the same facial features, especially the eyes, but same type of forehead, same type of hair setup, same head shape, all of that, right? But they don't look alike. I don't want to make it sound like my cousin and him look alike, but they have similarities. But their comedy type is very eerily similar, right? My cousin is hilarious. He's an insurance agent, but he is hilarious when he wants to be funny. But within all of that, so I admired his comedy because he had I had a familiarity with his comedy in the sense that my cousin made me feel like he was a relative of mine. So I gravitated towards his comedy years ago. But even within that, his talent is not about his size, right? But when anyone is struggling physically, and there's a point in time where people have a reserve that this is it for them. This is as good as it's going to get for them. They're never going to look or feel or be as great as they once achieved physicality. They won't run as hard. They won't jump as high. They won't skip. They won't dance. None of that. All of that's over with. Right? So for those of you who have achieved that level of mindset, I'm here to tell you that there is another level. There is another level. And that level is all about whether or not you can push past your fears. Because what if I fail? You know what? Who cares if you fail? You know what I'm saying? Who cares if you fail? Rebel Wilson is who I was talking about. Rebel Wilson has lost a significant amount of weight. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further and show you befores and afters. Okay? So real quick, here's Rebel Wilson in the past. And here's Rebel Wilson now. So let's go to images. It's better if I go to images. So I'm going to find older photos. So, okay, here we go. Older photo of Rebel Wilson right here. Right? That's Rebel Wilson back when she was doing Pitch Perfect. Now, Rebel Wilson is like this now. And now she is finding it hard to find legitimate roles. Now, here's the funny part about all that. And as a matter of fact, if my wife is watching anywhere, if she happens to be watching, or if she happens to watch later, I was one that saw Rebel Wilson in this form and said she's a very pretty woman. And I even said if she got in shape, she should be a problem in Hollywood. Well, here she is now. Not that she wasn't pretty before, but knowing Hollywood and knowing what they expect and knowing all that stuff, I knew Rebel Wilson had more to offer Hollywood than being fat. She was clearly funny already, right? And I don't think that one size should be the crux of one's personality, should be the level of stardom one should achieve because of their size, right? Now, ironically, it's the inverse, because now she's not as famous because she shrunk, as opposed to she's not out there, she was out there more because she was bigger. But which is better for her? What made her recognize and realize that life was better this way, right? Is the fact that her health is better. Why is she going to sacrifice her health for the sake of money when that money will outlive her if she doesn't take care of herself? Ryan Davis himself began to see that himself. He couldn't run. Just being able to push yourself to run a distance, to sprint hard and not think that life was about to end for you is a huge accomplishment. As a matter of fact, at first you're going to hate it. For those of you who are out here watching that have never achieved anything physical, I'm not trying to denigrate you. I'm really trying to open your eyes to the possibilities of what's real out here. That you can do things that you never imagined you can do. Think about that for a minute. Imagine that you can now jump. Not necessarily like Michael Jordan, but imagine now you can leap off the ground, land, and not feel like you're going to snap your ankle in half. Imagine that you've never been able to do a push-up. Now you can. Imagine that clothes that you've admired on other people, you can now wear with that same level of confidence and perform. You can't protect yourself as well if you were in better shape. I'm all about protecting oneself. I'm all about enhancing one's abilities. I'm all about enhancing one's features. Lizzo's on that train now. Like I said, Rebel Wilson was already on that train. Ryan Davis is on that train. What about you? When are you going to see the value in yourself that you can actually achieve something greater than you think you can? For those of y'all who live on the number one pile, I want you to hear me and hear me well. It's only hated. You only hate it because you can't do it. You only hate it because of the negative connotations that have been bombarded on you in the past. That because you weren't faster than, because you weren't better than, that because you didn't measure up to whoever they were comparing you to, you decided to walk away from it. As opposed to competing with yourself, fighting to beat the person in the mirror. Because when I go to this boxing class that I'm going to go to tonight, it's not about beating anybody in the ring. I'm well past that. I'm too old to get punched in the face. You understand what I'm saying? My brain ain't going to recover as nicely as if it would have when I was back when I was 28 years old. Does that mean I'm not going to defend myself? Absolutely not. Does that mean I'm going to avoid conflicts? I will, when it's absolutely necessary to avoid it. But when it can't be avoided, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to fight. But does that mean that my whole outlook on doing this is to compete with other people? My coach is my former student. He is so well versed and so technically sound, he'll beat me easily. All he has to do is wait me out. Even if there's a chance that I hit harder than him, even if there's a chance that I'm faster than him, he knows that the technical things that will save him in a boxing match, the things that will keep him upright longer and being able to perform better over time, he has all of those skills. Those are skills that you learn. These are not things that you just wake up and have, right? And he is now my coach. My former student is now my coach. I am not in competition with my coach. I'm not in competition with him or anybody else that I train with. I'm in competition with myself. I want to see just how far I can take myself. I want to see just how far I can go while doing this. I'm not going to quit because it's tough. If I give it up, it's because life is lifing. Not because, oh my God, I was sweating so much and I was having difficulty breathing at times and my chest was heavy and am I going to like back off when my body is, failing me? Absolutely, of course. When I feel like my heart is about to jump out of my throat, 100%. When I feel like my head is pounding, am I going to back off? Yes. If my wrist is hurting, yes. But am I going to stop altogether? Hell no. No. I'm going to keep going. Why? Because there's more at the end of my fist to learn. Not because I'm going to be the next Roy Jones. Not because I'm going to beat John Jones or Mighty Mouse or Matt Hughes or whoever. I'm not beating any of those dudes. That's not the point of all of this. The point is to challenge myself to see how good, if not great, I can be at something other than what it is that I'm good at. It's on to the next challenge. What can I do better now that I couldn't do before? A lot of the times we put ourselves in these conditions where we believe that we're the only ones going through it. And the truth is that we all go through it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that simple. It's not that cut and dry to be, it's all good. We just have it. And I want to point out that with Rebel Wilson, it's a dramatic change in one sense, but she's really not that much. I mean, she's smaller than she was, but proportionally speaking, she's pretty much she's still the same proportional woman. She shrunk down a bit. She's top heavy. She lost some fat in the face. She's lost some fat in her parts of her body, but she's not she's not like jacked. Trying to find this is a more recent picture of her, I guess. Weight loss helped me become versatile actress. Her words. Right? Let me show you right here. See? Weight loss helped me become versatile actress. Because, like I said, she's no longer going to be the quote-unquote funny fat friend. She could be the funny sarcastic friend, and that's it. And I'm talking about, and that's it in the sense of the role. She's not going to be specified as quote-unquote fat. A Rebel Wilson type. That's what. So let me put y'all on a game, because I was in a movie once. Right? And I had aspired to act at one point in time, and when I did, the funny part was, when you read the script, they give you a type. They'll turn around and say, Denzel Washington type. Strong, handsome, tall, active. Now that he's older, they'll say mature, refined. They'll say stuff like that. But when you read for a script, if you're young, good looking, volatile, in shape, they'll turn around and say a Tupac Shakur type. If you are extremely handsome and in shape, they'll say a Shamar Moore type. So if you don't look like that, they're not looking for you. They already have who they have in mind for that movie. This is part of the reason why, what's his name now? Jeez. But, as a matter of fact, let's look him up too. Super bad. Jonah Hill is another one. Jonah Hill doesn't look like old Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is in shape now. You understand what I'm saying? I want y'all to get the point that I'm trying to get across to you. You're selling yourself short. Pun intended. When you don't invest in your own health. I'm not suggesting to get skinny. That's not what I'm suggesting. I've never suggested getting skinny. I suggest getting healthy. I suggest getting in the best shape for your body type. Like I've always told you, there's 27 different body types out there. Some of them are actually redundant, but there's still 27 different body types out there. And in those 27 body types is somewhere where you fit in. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be in shape. You deserve to be fit. And you deserve to have the moment that Ryan Davis had where he became emotional because he realized that he can stop running not because it's hard, but because he wants to. Do you know how powerful of a feeling it is to be able to do something because you want to? I could jump onto this platform because I want to. I can race my dog because I want to. I could do absolutely nothing because I want to. Because I have earned the right to do nothing. Does that mean I've earned the right for all time to do nothing and just sit up and kick my feet up and eat bonbons and watch I Love Lucy all day? No. What I'm saying is that I don't have to be neurotic about my health because I know I push myself to the ends of the earth. I know I challenge myself regularly. I push myself all the time. And guess what? When I want to lay up and not do anything, I've earned the right to do so. If I want to hold myself accountable to a goal that I want to reach, absolutely. But from a fitness standpoint, I've achieved a lot in this fitness game. What do you guys believe? Where do you guys fall into all of this? Where do you guys fall into all of this? Do you fall into I hate working out? I work out because I know I have to, but it's not on my top tier list of favorite things to do. I enjoy challenges, or last but not least, number 4, it's orgasmic. I want nothing more than the feeling of what it is that exercise brings me every day. Tell me how you see it. Tell me what you think about it. Talk to me, because I'm sitting here and I just want to know what y'all are thinking about this, because for me, like I said, I'm in lanes 2 and 3. I just happen to be good at physically fit stuff. I don't know how long my body's going to allow me to be that good. But I'm going to keep going until I can't. Until I literally can't. Not because I think I can't, but because my body is failing me. My body is telling me I can't do it anymore. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm almost 50 years old. But I want you out there to let me know something. Let me know how you feel about exercise. So where are you at? Just put the number. You don't even have to type it all in there. Just put the number in there. Put the number in the chat on which one do you think you fall into. It's not a I'm not going to be chastising you if you fall into the one. You know, I just want to change your mindset, because without your mindset, if you don't change your mindset, success is not going to come. I'm just going to be real with you. And some people are, hate watching. And I don't mean hate watching me. I'm talking about hate watching other people live their lives vicariously through those people, hating on the fact that those people get to do things that you wish you could do. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, you're hate watching me. I'm specifically talking about hate watching people who have a certain type of lifestyle. So when you see people, wearing certain outfits and they look good in that outfit and you're hate watching them because you can't wear that outfit, why are we hate watching? Why don't we just go for it and go get it? Unless you are residing in the fact that that's not where you are. I'm not going to be as large as The Rock. It's just that simple. I'm not. I don't want to be. I want to be in great shape. I want to have muscles. I want my body to look younger than I am. But to achieve this, I want to be muscular, more muscular, I should say, but I don't want to be so massive that I don't look real. Does that make sense? That's not where I want to be. But I definitely want to push myself physically in all facets of fitness, just to know that I did it and I could continue to do it as long as I apply myself in this arena. You guys have a choice to make. Where do you fit? Where do you want to fit? Do you want to enjoy working out? Do you want to enjoy the benefits of working out? Because like I said, enjoying the benefits of working out is more than enough motivation to continue to work out. You could still hate it and be like, yo, this sucks. But you know that the value in what it's sucking is going to be there. I want you guys to have a profound appreciation for the journey. It's not about getting there this fast. Oh, I lost 80 pounds in 6 weeks. Who cares? You lost 80 pounds. You lost 80 pounds. That's the part. But I lost it in 6 weeks. Nobody cares. First of all, anybody that hears you say I lost 80 pounds in 6 weeks is going to be concerned about what you did to get there. And most people are not going to be willing to go through what you went through in order to get where you're trying to go. Just like, certain bodybuilders, some bodybuilders are not natural. And I don't want to achieve my body in an unnatural way. I want to achieve my body as naturally as humanly possible. I'm talking about food, legal supplementation. I'm not talking, yes, and I know you could get a prescription from a doctor. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about legitimately utilizing the nutrients and the foods around you to achieve the body that you want. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. If it just so happens that I find myself in a low testosterone situation at some point in time in my life, will I partake in testosterone supplementation? Possibly. I'm not against it as long as it's prescribed by a doctor for legitimate reasons. If it's just to say I want to get swole, no. But if I notice that my testosterone levels is far below that of a normal man, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm at a disadvantage. I'm not at an advantage. I'm at a disadvantage. I'm not performing at the levels I know I can perform to, because my body is starting to fail me. Don't need Viagra. All I just need is just, some little testosterone if that's what I'm lacking. I'm not lacking it last time I checked. As a matter of fact, I'll know more about that in later on next month. Okay? But in the meantime, my body is going to perform as best as it can with all that is available through natural means. Protein, carbs, fats, micro and macronutrients, water. Some sugar at times. not excessive, but some sugar at times, just to make sure that I can perform. That was what's within my cup. That was some liquid IV, so that way when I go to this boxing class that I'm going to be leaving for in about 5 to 10 minutes, that I will be able to perform and not feel as though I'm about to fall on my face. That I'm going to challenge myself throughout. Shout out to Ryan Davis. Congratulations on your success. Hats off to your trainer, because this show is not necessarily about me as a trainer. It is about everyone who is a trainer, legitimate trainers, not no fly-by-night trainers, not somebody that just got out of prison and decides because he's swole he's a trainer, not somebody that because they got some abs that they're a trainer. I'm talking about people who have studied this stuff, people who have locked in and put in the time and effort to improve people's lives. I'm talking to them. Hats off to Ryan Davis's trainer, because he is successful in his fitness journey. His clothes fit better. He looks better. He feels better. He's living better. And he's doing better. So I'm going to land this plane for y'all as I get ready to head on out of here. Each and every last one of you have the opportunity to become as emotional about one's health as Ryan Davis has when I showed you this video earlier. You have a unique advantage. You have a responsibility to yourself to push yourself every single day of your life as long as your health is intact. Sometimes you're going to find yourself with unforeseen illnesses. And if you are befallen those unforeseen illnesses, my hat's off to you, and my deepest and sincere condolences. But I hope that you still continue to fight and push through to get to the other side so that you also can become emotional about the results of your fight. And if it does happen to be something that is beyond your control, I sincerely hope that you did all that you could to remain as healthy as humanly possible for as long as you could before your health was taken over by this illness. Each and every last one of you, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.